how a friend or something might describe me, they would say pretty hardworking, always busy. My name is Brian Kozera, and I'm a thriver. I love being a police officer in the patrol division because you get connected to every aspect of life.
Making the seat higher so she can pedal. Try now.
One of the best things about being in law enforcement is that it's always changing. Laws change, society changes, and so we also have to adapt and change. And that lifetime of learning bleeds into every other aspect of my life, as a triathlete. And I love triathlon because of all three sports. You're not just swimming, biking, or running. You're doing all three. I really do believe in that whole get busy living or get busy dying, and being present in whatever I'm doing. Anything worth doing is worth doing well. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it as best I possibly can.
Chris, you want eggs?
Good morning. I am Kristen Kozera. I work part-time as a chemist, and my other time is spent raising our daughters. Brian and I do both have naturally positive attitudes, but also I think that it is a conscious choice to choose happy, right? That's part of the privilege of being alive. You get to choose how you to react to something, and frankly, it's the only thing that you can often control.
If we look back to January of 2014, we were really excited because Kristen was pregnant with our third child.
Josie had just turned 2. Paige was 4.
And I was coming off of my first Ironman. Work was on track, life was on track. We were just loving life.
And then Avery was born, and everything looked good for the first little bit. Those were those few precious days of normalcy.
Early March, Avery started having seizures, diagnosis, some type of infant seizure disorder. I was continuing to train, and I sustained a hernia injury, went to get that hernia repaired. And the surgeon said a hernia repair went great, but I found a suspicious node. They identified it as lymphocyte depleted Hodgkin's lymphoma. I went in for a scan, and they're like, you have cancer everywhere. And basically they're like, you have one option.
Yeah.
And so I started doing outpatient chemotherapy every other week. May, June, got a call saying they got the results of a DNA genetic panel. It turned out that Avery was born with something called CDKL5 deficiency disorder. And they basically said she'll probably never walk or talk or sit up or be able to communicate, and she's going to have, her own story to write, but she's going to be severely disabled.
Hey. Good morning, where'd you go?
My dad at the time was the dean of the Temple Medical School and just a tremendous resource and knew pretty much everybody there was to know in medicine in Philadelphia.
All right, let's head downstairs. Let's do it.
And I was doing pretty good. Went to work, came home, had dinner with my sister, and then he just didn't wake up. And that was a crushing blow to us because he was pivotal for us at that time, trying to guide us through not one, but 2 rare
Significant.
medical issues.
Yeah.
It was really a hard year. I went through a bone marrow transplant, and the only thing they told me to do is keep staying active and keep staying fit. That was the only controllable that I had. It's okay, I'm not feeling good, but if I go exercise, possibly that's gonna help me win. And I have to win. I have to win. I have 3 daughters and a wife who needs me, so I have to win. So I set a goal for myself to qualify for the Ironman World Championship in the hardest age bracket there is, 40 to 44. We're gonna get your tucker out? When we think about our family, we want our kids never to remember learning how to ski or swim. I think with Avery, we constantly think okay, however much time we get with her, how do we make it the best life she can have? And running, biking, swimming, all the things that made our family what we are, we just had to adapt it. I wish sometimes I could see a thought bubble in her brain, but you can sometimes see it in her face. We have an eye gaze that she uses her eyes to flip through the screen.
It's me, Avery.
It sure is you, Avery.
She'll tell us.
You do it.
I want.
Okay.
Let's go swimming.
Let's go swimming.
Aquatherapy turned out to be one of the best therapies for Avery. When Avery gets into the water, I look at her as really getting the opportunity to play. We can do some things together in that environment that we can't do anywhere else. I can't imagine how freeing that must be for somebody who, for the most of the day, is just severely affected by gravity because she's so low muscle toned.
It's not enough to move herself on land, those little movements she can do with her arms and legs, but she can move herself around in the water. So I think that bit of independence for her is really, really nice as well.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be that freedom to be able to move around. I mean, I guess until we can get to orbit, it's the next best environment.
Take her to space.
Yeah. This year I got the opportunity to raise money for cancer in a way that I never expected. My coach called me and he said, how would you like to go to the Ironman World Championship and represent cancer with Team in Training? And it was like the dream I never dreamed of. Because now I'm not going for me. I can help all of these other people who may get this disease and they need the help and the support.
For him to be able to participate and for us to be able to support him, it's going to be amazing. And we're just ecstatic that we're able to do it while raising funds for such an amazing cause, too. I'm not sure that it could have happened in a better way.
Through my bone marrow transplant, I couldn't run. I could barely sometimes walk or even stand up. But I didn't want to survive. I want to thrive in this life. And I want that same thing for my family. That's why I took my bike in the hospital. That's why we learned to adaptive ski. That's why we got to the pool. And sometimes we felt like the only luck we had was bad luck.
For a while there, yeah.
But I was given a chance with this successful treatment, and there's only one direction, and that's forward.
So this book we actually got from the Orphan Disease Center at Penn, and they asked us to participate in this photo project, and then they put together this really neat book with a couple of different families from a couple of different of the rare diseases. The whole book is called The Power of Yet, and then on this first page, it's a quote from Brian. In our family, we believe in the power of yet. We never say we can't. We may simply not have done it yet.
I haven't learned the right technique yet. We haven't bought the right piece of technology yet. Avery can't sit yet. And as long as you believe in that power of yet, then you have hope. And hope is the best of things.